Hi class, week 5, can you believe it? First session of the week, a few new exercises and more of the same, just variations of the traditional, and just really working on building stamina, right? And just maybe developing some more flow, okay, in the movement. So let's go ahead and get started. Chest expansion. Cat and cow. And dynamic, hands forward, hips down, hips back. All right, let's come to a seated position for our leg circles for warm up. Just make sure that your hip is open when you're circling. Keep that leg bent. And reverse. And switch legs. And reverse. And rest. All right, so we're going to come down for our 100, and so we've been holding our legs up tall. We're just going to slightly open, so slightly lowering those straight legs. So go ahead and come on down, bring your legs up, and from here I'm just going to slightly lower them. So I have a slight opening here. Go ahead and begin when you're ready. And when you're done, go ahead and bring your legs down and your head down. All right, you guys, one exercise at a time, first time through, introducing some new exercises and then just other variations, okay? First exercise of today's session is going to be a pulsing single leg. So it looks like this. My knees are in, head and shoulders up. Pregnant students, one foot is down, right? You can do one leg at a time. We're going to pulse. So we're just going to pull a little bit and straighten that leg with just a slight bounce. See that? Extra pull. 1, 2, 1, 2. Focusing on scooping, chin to chest, breathing, just warming up. All right, next exercise is called coordination. So it just simply means that we're going to coordinate our arm movement with our leg movement. So this is a variation of double leg stretch. So go ahead and bring both knees in. We're going to bring head and shoulders up. And I'm going to bring my elbows down to the mat with my arms bent to start, with my legs bent. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to extend my legs as I lower my hands to the mat, keeping my elbows connected, and then bring my arms back in with my legs. Okay? Pregnant students, you can do this with one leg foot on the floor. You can bring your head down and do each leg, okay? Here we go. Coordination. Ready and begin. Nice and controlled. One more. And rest. Okay. All right, so crisscross, we're going to modify this as well. So this is also going to be pulsing legs like we did with single leg. But we're going to bring our hands from behind our head to alongside the side of our head, so almost like covering your ears, so that your elbows are facing forward. So the position looks like this. See this? So rather than here, we're here. And I'm just going to pulse 1, 2, 1, 2. Pregnant students, one leg on the floor. Working on one side at a time. And rest. Ooh, that's a good one. All right, so we're going to bridge here. And with the bridge today, we're going to do a bridge clam. I think we've done this before. So arms are at our sides. Our feet are closer together with our knees close together at the base, right? When we lift our hips up, we're going to part our knees. And then we're going to close our knees and then lower our hips. Okay, here we go. Bridge clam, up and out and in and down. So squeezing those inner thighs, outer hip is nice and strong. Because our hamstrings are engaged and our glutes are engaged. One more. And rest. All right, so going along with that pulsing theme, we're going to go into pulsing single straight. So it's just that added pulse stretch move. For pregnant students, just one leg down, one leg at a time, okay? Both legs up for others, head and shoulders up, and then we're just going to pulse here, 1, 2, 1, 2. And rest. Okay. All right, so a variation of double straight we're going to do, it's called footwork. I think we've done this before already. So we're just going to open our straight legs, lower the legs. Remember this, we bend the knees and we pull those feet in and knees in, and then we start up at the top again with parted legs. So pregnant students, one leg on the floor at a time. And you can do one leg and then you can move into the other leg if you'd like, okay? So both legs all the way up for others, head and shoulders up. We're going to go ahead and open the legs, lower the legs, bend the knees, pull the feet in, and back up to top. One more. And rest. Good. All right, so we're going to try a full roll up with legs bent. So if you cannot come all the way up, you're basically just holding still. Remember, you can assist yourself with your hands on your legs. Pregnant students, you are only doing holds, and then you're going to turn over to your side, push yourselves up, and from that seated position, you'll do some roll back or roll downs, okay? Just holding at the top. So nothing too extreme, keeping the feet on the floor. Here we go. Arms all the way back. See if you can come all the way up. Scooping, engaging the glutes, pressing that low back down into the mat. Come up and then down. Sweep those arms back. My kitty cat is in the house. Here she comes. There she goes. Maybe she'll make an appearance. Not sure though. She's been running around. All right, one more time. Finish at the top. All right. So we're going to do a seated balance exercise with a foot drop. Let's see, what are we doing here? Arms, sides, touching the floor. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go into seated balance, keeping a flat back. So I'm just going to drop my, actually I'm going to keep my arms here at the sides, so hands down. So we're in the seated balance position here, right? So keeping my arms here, keeping my back flat, I'm just going to touch down with one foot and touch down with the other. Last one. And spine stretch. All right, bring your legs back together. We're going to practice that rolling like a ball. But at the top, when we come off of that roll back and we come up to the top, we're going to go into a flat back, tall position of the trunk. And then we'll get our collapsed, scooping back, okay? Scooping spine. So let's go ahead and bring our, wait, here we go. We got hands over knees, right? We've already brought our different hand position. So we're going to go ahead and scoop, release that back. We're going to roll back. This is what it looks like. Roll up, and then I'm going to flat back here as I reach forward. And then I bring my hands, I scoop, I roll, I'm up, flat back, reach up. So there's a change in the position of that lumbar area. One more. Good. Feet down. All right, leaning back on elbows. I'm going to bring both legs up. So back is flat. I'm just going to do a leg drop. So I'm lowering one leg and lifting. Pregnant students, you're going to keep one foot on the floor and just work on one leg at a time. Last one. And bring it forward. Legs together. Front stretch. One more. Good. All right, bring your legs over to the side for mermaid. Find that comfortable side seated position. And go ahead and begin. Switch your legs. And knee hug. Back to center before we turn over. All right, so we're going to turn over and we're going to practice our slow swim. And what we've been doing is we've been keeping one leg and one arm off on the floor while we lift the other, right? We're going to actually elevate our legs now and keep them elevated, and we're going to lift from there. So only one arm will be on the mat at one time, okay? So one arm stays down, but both legs are elevated. So go ahead and turn over. Pregnant students, you are in table position, practicing cat and cow or opposite arm, opposite leg lifting, okay? So it looks like this, everybody else. Legs are slightly elevated off the floor. From here, I'm going to lift from there. Opposite arm, opposite leg. So one arm is down, both legs are off the floor. So just a different look at slow swim, right? And rest. All right, we're going to come up into a low plank, which means we're on our elbows. Pregnant students, keep your knees down, okay? Everybody else, we're going to come up, knees up off the floor, and we're just going to shift back and forth. Pregnant students, if you want to bring the knees off the floor and you feel comfortable with the weight, shifting back and forth, that's fine. Otherwise, you're just shifting your hips back and forth, knees down. So come back on your heels, forward on your toes, shifting. Shoulders are getting a little bit of a work here. And knees down and low back stretch. You can bring your arms with you. All right, kneeling tall. We have hip thrusts. Or we're going to do what are called Y arms. So our arms are going to come up in a Y or a V position. So hips are forward here, arms are down. I'm going to pull my hips back. Y arms or V arms. Hips forward, reaching back, Y arms. See that? So back, arms up, forward, arms back. One more. Good. Okay. So we're going to do a modified push-up exercise here into a pull-back. So we have to hover for that to happen. That just means our knees come off the floor. So starting with our knees on the floor, we're going to go push up. Go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to bring my knees up off the floor, keeping the legs bent. I'm going to come back, pull back, legs bent. See that? Come back forward, bring the knees down, repeat. Push up, hover, pull back, and down. Just a modified or different look at the push-up into low back stretch, right? One more. Good. All right, come down to your side. All the way down with your hand propped for some leg work. All right, so we're going to do an upper leg lift and then we're going to do a lower leg lift to meet that upper leg lift at the top, and then we'll lower both. So it looks like this. I'm lifting upper leg, lower leg, down. Hand out in front for balance, focusing on pressing the hip down, pulling those abdominals in, nice and strong in the legs here. Here we go, up, up, down. Focus on staying centered. Good. Come up onto your elbow. Bend the bottom leg only. Put your arm here on your hip. So we're going to do that hip lift, which we've done before, but we've done usually an arm sweep over the top. We're going to sweep our arm out in front. So it looks like this. When I lift my hips, I sweep my arm out. And then I bring my hips down and my arm back. Okay? Here we go. One more. And switch sides. All the way down. Stacked legs. Here we go. Upper leg first, lower leg second, and drop. Make sure you're focusing on staying centered over your hip there. One more. Good. Bend that bottom leg, arm on hip, sweeping arm out in front, hip lift. Last one. And back to center, knee hug. All right, you guys, we're gonna go through the whole session, second time through. I'm gonna go a little quicker because we have a lot of pulsing moves, but we're gonna double up exercises, try to increase some flow of the exercises, and then this should go pretty quick this second time through. Do not sacrifice good form though, right? Pregnant students, you know what you need to do. And so just keeping in mind that even though we're speeding it up a little bit, we're going a little bit quicker with more reps, we don't want to sacrifice form. Okay, so we're gonna go pulsing single leg right into coordination. So come on down and begin. Still scooping, still chin to chest, pressing that back down, breathing, all of those cues, right? Those things that I repeat over and over, but just a little bit quicker on the movement. We're going to change this into coordination right now, slowing it down. One more, and rest. Next will be pulsing crisscross with hands over ears, right? And then we'll go into our bridge clam. All right, bring both knees in, head and shoulders up, hands over ears, pulsing. Rest. Arms down, feet and knees together, bridge and clam. One more. All right. Pulsing single straight into footwork. Okay? Here we go. A little bit quicker. Last Last one here, change it footwork, slowing it down. Legs parted, hands behind your neck. Slow. One more. And rest. All right, we have our roll up with slightly bent legs. If you can, come all the way up. Otherwise, you're just holding. One more, finish at the top. Good. All right, seated balance with foot drop with hands at our sides, right? So balance here, flat back, hands down, and drop. Last one, spine stretch. All right, rolling like a ball with flat back at the top, hands over knees. All right, go ahead and come back into elbow lean back. Legs all the way up. Flat back, tall abdomen, right? And leg drop. Let's come forward for front stretch. Keep your legs together. Toe. All right, mermaid. Let's go ahead and get in position for mermaid. little bit of a deeper stretch if you can this time. And come down onto this elbow here and really reach over and push yourself up to the other side. A little more dynamic, only if you can. Last one. And switch your legs. All right, center yourself with knee hug. So we're going to turn over and do that slow swim with the elevated legs again. So just remember, keep those legs elevated and lifting from that starting position, okay? When you're ready. And rest. We're going to go into that low plank shift. So up on your elbows, knees up off of the mat, shifting weight back and forward. Go ahead and bring your knees down, low back stretch, bring your arms back. All right, kneeling tall, hip thrusts with that Y V position, right? Here we go. One more. Good. All right, that modified push-up, hover, pull back exercise. So push up first, hover, pull back, down. One more. Good. All right, come on down to your side. We have leg work here. So remember, we're going to lift top leg first, then bottom leg, and then down. One more. Up on your elbow, bottom leg is bent. Remember, we're reaching out this time with the hip lift. Top leg is straight. And switch sides. There we go. Two more. Last one. Good. Up on your elbow, hip lift. Go one more, and seated accordions. Sitting up tall, we're going to go figure eights on our sides. So legs extended, sitting up tall, arms outstretched to the sides, figure eights. Big breathing, strong arms and shoulders. We're going to go crosses out in front. Here we go. Right over left, left over right. Hold your arms out in front, palms facing each other, and we're going to go back and forward chops. Four more. 3, 2, and 1. And rest. Whew. Any other stretches you'd like to do while recovering from the session? Maybe some meditation, right? Some just focusing on breathing. That's not something we do in class, but obviously online you can do whatever you want. I would just recommend just sitting and breathing
and just trying to get back to a neutral state. Okay? Any stretches you'd like to do, pigeon, more low back, is fine. So that's the first session of the week 5. I will see you in class if you're following along accordingly. Good job, good work. See you next time.